Now, it will almost be correct that you're more responsible for Big Chuck being Big Chuck in a sense than Ernie Anderson. Because of the audition, and you got him involved. Had you not involved him in the audition, and they liked what they saw,
right?
And basically, you did a good deal of the fronting. And while he was doing the sketches and all the technical bits of it, wouldn't you be more responsible for Big Chuck than Ernie?
No, because years before I showed up, Chuck was an engineer at the station, so he knew all the technical stuff. So when you saw the big ant coming over the hill in these gosh awful movies, Chuck would insert Ernie into the movie, stabbing at the ant, you know, with a green screen versus blue screen at the time. It's green screen now. But anyway, he knew all that technical stuff, and he gathered all this music and the you know, that old bit, and he was very instrumental, and of course acted. He was the Cleveland Indians batting coach in a routine, and he was next door neighbor Jerry Kriegel, you know, in the Parma place. Exactly.
But he got out of that. You still had to be Hoolihan.
Well, now Chuck, you know, worked with him for several years before I even showed up. So Chuck had already had that experience, but scared to death every time he was before the camera. It just wasn't his thing, you know. And so when they decided, when we auditioned, that okay, you guys got a team here, you know, and because I brought him in and asked him, like, you know, they were asking me if I would like to host the show to replace Ernie Anderson, like anybody really could, you know, incredible talent. And so I asked Chuck, knowing that he had worked with Ernie and all these things, would you help me prepare, you know, some skits? And we did. And took them before the management, and they looked at it, brought us up to the office, and said, "Hey, we liked it. We got a team here." And I'm going, "Team? Hey, cool." You know, well, I was better known.
But it was a promotion, though.
Well, oh, sure. So since I was, you know, on the air and known better than Chuck, it became the Hoolihan, a Big Chuck show. Now, several years later, I quit staff at the station, maintained the weekend weather. By that time, Dick Goddard had come back from Philadelphia. Remember that Westinghouse NBC switch from Philadelphia to here, and got on Channel 8 again, or not again, but in the market on Channel 8, replacing me in the evening. I went up to noontime, and then several years later, they moved me to weekends, and I quit staff, which means I was totally freelance. You know? And I started going to New York, freelancing, going in Monday and coming home Wednesday night, and we would do our routines, recording them wherever, out on the street or in the studio, on Thursdays, and then Friday we would package that all together and play it back that night, so it'd be as current as we could get it. And so that's how it all developed. And of course, the less I was in town, the more the thing just moved into Chuck's bailiwick, and he just, you know, would write everything. They package it all together, produce it, the sound effects and everything, and it was just pretty much on his shoulders. So I mean, I give him full credit. He's, I don't use the term genius lightly, but he is a comic genius, and I give him full credit for that. So, I mean, for 14 years of us, 28 more years as Big Chuck and Little John, until finally they decided, hey, that's enough. 40 years of being on, yeah.
You know, it happens when people come in from out of town not understanding, I think, the history of the area and the broadcast history.
Well, what's really crazy is current management has no feeling or knowledge of the legacy of Hoolihan and Big Chuck and Little John. They don't know that. So when they asked him, they finally realized, hey, maybe we're missing something here. And they asked Chuck to develop something they could put on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock. In this case, a half-hour show, not with a movie anymore, of course, you couldn't have the time, but a half-hour thing with just introducing skits and the whole bit, and has become the highest-rated show at that time slot of any Fox station in the country.
What a surprise, huh?
You were just, duh.
To everybody but Cleveland.
Well.
In '79, you left. Did you miss it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, things like this, you know, when you're doing the show, it's in a comparatively quiet studio. No feedback.
Right.
Maybe the cameraman will chuckle a little bit, but that's it.
Right.
So the only contact we've had with people who are on the other side of the screen was our ball games, you know, football, softball, basketball, whatever was in season, and like this at the Gallardi Fests. So how can you not appreciate that?
Does it surprise you after all these years?
A bit, but I grab it and run with it because it's really great.
What you do is grab the Fox people and bring them down here to see.
Hey, now there's a thought.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? You be our press agent.
I think that's John's job.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I'd like to say I grew up with you guys, but all my friends told me I never grew up. So
I'm going to say getting older and growing up are not necessarily the same thing.
And they're not. One does not require the other necessarily.
There you go.
But hey, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an honor, and I just enjoyed watching you guys throughout the years, and even when you left, I still got to see you because I still use your sketches.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
And sunshine to you, right?